stand on the established protocol. I therefore say good morning, as I knew her, Patrina Missick. I am deeply honored and grateful to the family for entrusting me with the responsibility of sharing as I knew Patrina. To be asked to reflect on the life of a dear friend is both a privilege and a sacred responsibility, one I accept with humility, gratitude, and love. The Word of God reminds us in Revelation 14:13, "And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Blessed are the dead which die in the Lord, from henceforth, yea, said the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them." Today we gather not only to mourn, but to remember and to reflect on the life whose work truly do follow her. Friendship is a sacred bond. It endures through changing seasons, busy schedules, and life's many responsibilities. Yet, it never weakens. When friends come together, the connection is immediate. The conversation flows, the laughter returns, and the bond feels as strong as ever. That is the kind of friendship I shared with Patrina. Although our work schedules took us in different directions, we remained true friends. There was never any distance in our friendship, only sincere warmth, trust, and mutual respect. I first met Patrina through my brother Raymond Williams, who now resides in the Turks and Caicos Island. When I was given the responsibility to reflect on Patrina, I immediately reached out to him because during the time they worked together, he spoke very highly of her. He shared the following words with me. Today we pause to remember and honor the life of Patrina Missick, a woman whose quiet presence left a lasting impression on everyone who knew her. Raymond went on to say, I had the privilege of working with Patrina some years ago at Bahamas Beverages. She was part of the front office team while I worked primarily in the warehouse. Our roles were different and our interactions were not frequent, but they were also meaningful. On the rare occasions when Patrina needed to communicate with or direct the warehouse crew, she did so with a calm, respectful, and professional manner. She never raised her voice, never demanded attention. Yet, she was always heard and, more importantly, always respected. What stood out most about Patrina was her quiet demeanor. You could walk into the office and be greeted with a soft greeting, a kind pleasantry, and a gentle presence. She was always courteous, always polite, always composed. In a workplace that can often be busy and demanding, Patrina represented something rare, quiet leadership. She reminded us that respect doesn't have to be loud and influence doesn't require force. Sometimes it comes simply from how you treat people. When I met Patrina, I found her to be exactly the person my brother described. Warm, kind, polite, and composed. Our paths crossed again through the Grand Bahama Secretaries Association. We shared monthly meetings and luncheons, and our association carried the responsibilities for selecting the Boss of the Year and Secretary of the Year. Through that work, our friendship deepened. We also traveled together, with the most memorable and fun experience being our trip to Nassau, New Providence, and to Des Moines, Iowa, for the International Secretaries Association's annual conference. We truly had a great time shopping, laughing, and sightseeing whenever we were not in sessions. We also did walkathons and cookouts and other fun activities. Beyond meetings and professional settings, our bond grew even stronger as we connected in our personal lives. We became friends in the truest sense, so much that I was comfortable enough asking Patrina to stand as godmother to my son, Lee Van Loo II. She possessed the heart and instincts of a mother, someone I trusted to care for my child in my absence. That spoke volumes about her character. Patrina was a wonderful person, loving, caring, and deeply considerate. She lived every day for her family. And like all of us, she had her quirks. One thing you never wanted to do was put Patrina in charge of collecting cash. With her kind heart, payment methods would be half payment, pay later, or sometimes no payment necessary. She was simply too considerate to press anyone for money. That wasn't a weakness, it was a reflection of her generosity and compassion. When I heard that Patrina was hospitalized, I kept in touch with Antonia for updates while praying and hoping for her recovery. I later received the heartbreaking news of her passing. Though we prayed earnestly for her healing, God had other plans. Her assignment on earth was fulfilled, and in God's perfect timing, she was ushered home to her heavenly reward. Hers was a life well lived. She has now finished her course and received a crown of righteousness from the Lord, the righteous judge. This is how I knew Patrina, and that is how I will always remember her. May her soul rest in peace, and may we honor her by carrying forward her legacy of kindness, dignity, and the quiet strength